Welcome to Improv for the podcast. On this week's episode, we're joined by Kerstin, who will tell us all about her improvisational journey. We'll play a couple games, and most importantly, learn how she improved her life. Let's hit it. Welcome to Improv for the podcast. I'm your host, Michael E. Evans, and tonight I'm joined by the incredibly talented journalist, dual citizen, writer, poet, improviser, Kerstin.
Woohoo!
Woo. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
How are you this evening?
I'm very good, and I'm very impressed how you pronounced my name.
We're working on it. You know, you are my guest. It's my job to make sure you're comfortable and feel welcome here tonight.
It's very nice of you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So Kerstin, help me out here. I'm looking at this sign. It's reminding me of this place we're at, IFTP. I just want you to share with me a little bit. How'd you find this place? How'd you end up here?
I did a search in the search machine because I thought I was turning 60. That is about 1.5 years ago. And I wanted to do something totally out of my comfort zone. And I thought improv would be something like that. And it was just, not only is it sort of close to me, Improv for the People, but it also seemed to be a very welcoming place. And that turned out to be very true. So that's why I'm still around.
There you go. I mean, I love to hear that it lived up to the reputation or the reputation that you read about online. I think this studio has a really good online presence because I feel like we've been able to get a lot of people to come here. Just, they Google it up, they find us, and then, they join.
Right. And when it said for the people, I just thought, okay, hopefully it's really going to be everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to feel like awkward because I never acted, I never did this and that. And so, yeah.
Okay, so we did okay.
You did great. You're doing great. Yes.
Right. And how long have you been here at IFTP?
Yeah, about 1.5 years.
1.5 years. Okay.
Which makes me always think I should be better at it already. But.
I bet you're better than you think you are. But we'll find out at the end of the
God.
episode. No. All right, but before we get to that, we got to play some Three Things.
Okay.
Whew, I know. Have you played Three Things before?
I have played it, but not for a while.
Not for a while. Okay. So a little rusty, but we'll shake that off. This is Three Things, but it's about you. All right. So here we go. These are Three Things. First category, favorite places within Los Angeles.
The beach.
1.
What is the name of the park? Kenneth Hahn
Recreational Center. Yeah. 2.
And then IFTP.
Love that. 3. Very nice. Next category. Let's see. Things you miss from Germany.
Rollmops.
1.
Currywurst.
2.
Snowy winters.
3. All right. Last category. And this one's going to be tough. Your favorite pieces that you've written.
That I have written?
You have written. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. And I hope you don't want me to remember them word by word. So
it's okay. You don't have to.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Okay. So I really enjoyed that I finished a book that was published in German. So 1 year in California would be number 1.
1.
Then, a chapbook I made for a writing class.
2.
And now I have a project 100 times 100, which is 100 days, 100 words. And I just love that.
3. These are Three Things. Excellent. Okay. You weren't rusty at all. You jumped right in. All right. So we're going to circle back on those categories. Okay. Why do you think I asked you about some of your favorite places in Los Angeles?
I don't know, because I moved here, I live here, I don't know.
These are all good guesses. Yeah, I did some digging around on your social media, a little Facebook, a little Instagram, a little LinkedIn, and I found you did a really great job of just showcasing different things around the city, which I appreciated.
Oh, so these are really different from my job, probably also a little bit.
Maybe a little bit, around. Yeah. It just felt like you were like, oh, I went here, I saw this, I went here and saw this. Like there was a photo you had I can't remember the location, but it was of some opened up umbrellas kind of on the curb on the sidewalk, these beautiful like blue umbrellas. And I just liked the different images that you captured. Just at a glance.
Yeah, it's not really well curated, my social media. It's really like, okay, I see something, I like it, and I just, okay, this is Los Angeles, because I'm still excited that I live in the city and that it's like every day you see something different. And
absolutely. And I think something that I feel has changed, my perception of Los Angeles has changed when I first moved up here. I've been in LA, let me put a number on it. I think almost 14 years now. Thinking back, I used to not really like LA, but as I've lived here, you know, it's just like, oh, it's busy, it's crowded, you know, there's trash, blah, 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 which, you know, sometimes those things are true, but they're true of any city, at least in the US.
Where did you come from?
San Diego. So, you know, it's the beach. It's the best weather in the world. You know, it's my favorite place. But, you know, living up here just over time, you're really learning, I think, the true city instead of seeing it just in the mind of a transplant. But getting to know people who've lived and grown up here and better understanding the culture of the real Los Angeles versus all the folks who move here to be in Hollywood, right? And things like that, I think changed my perception quite a bit. And well, I mean, I'm still here. So there you go.
Like me. I came when 2003.
Okay.
For a 5-year contract, and then
just a little more than 5 years later,
turned out to get a little longer. Yeah.
Yeah, just a little longer. Okay, very nice. That second category. Why did I ask you about Germany?
Well, that's where I come from. That's where I was born. That's where I lived the first 40 years of my life. Yes.
Do you miss it?
I miss more some people, like family and friends.
Yeah.
And I have to say, the last 2 years, I went back in summer. I don't know why I didn't do that earlier. It's happened that but the summers, oh my God, the street cafe places or restaurant people are out at night until midnight and after, and I don't know, and they swim in their lakes. And I was in Berlin, where I spent 13 years before I got here, and my friend just said, okay, let's take the S-Bahn, the metro, and we can go to the lake, and then we still meet our friends for dinner later. And I said, that's going to be tight. And she said, no. And we took the S-Bahn. We had a nice swim in the lake. We had a coffee with ice in it, ice cream, and then we made it still for dinner outside and sat in the warm summer night of Berlin until midnight. And I thought, damn, that's pretty good.
that sounds like a perfect night, honestly.
Yeah.
A nice swim, some ice cream, some coffee, dinner with friends. I mean, I'm sold. I'm there.
Right?
That sounds pretty perfect, actually.
But now I'm Zooming with friends who sit in their sweaters and haven't had sun in a few days. And then I'm like, okay.
And then you look out your window and you're like, very nice.
Yeah, right.
You did mention snowy winters, though.
I did, but then I always have in my mind this romantic winter where it's all quiet.
Yeah.
And it's like just these snowflakes and not like the gray, slushy. Have to scratch your window on the car before you go and all that. That's not. Yeah,
it's like dealing with the snow is not so fun, but you know, being nice and warm inside, and you can look out and be like, oh, that's so pretty, the fresh fallen snow. That's really nice and is really romantic, I think. But then you're stuck with that for a few days.
It's for weeks.
That's true.
It's months.
Never mind, not a few days. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I shouldn't have said, but I do snowy winters, and then I picture the countryside probably more.
I mean, that also sounds very beautiful, though. You know, if you can spend a little bit of time with it and then leave. You know, if you're stuck in it day to day, you still have to go to work and all these other things.
Different.
Less fun. It sounds like a ton of hassle. Here, never going to happen. We're going to get 3 days of rain in a row, maybe.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
That's it. And in the beginning, I found it very funny when they did the storm watch on TV.
Oh, I'm sure.
And there's people standing, like there's a puddle behind them. The cars are driving through, and it's like, oh my God, it's raining. And I'm like, what? It's not even real rain. No. It's just,
Yeah, it's the best we got over here. But we don't know how to handle it. And
it's okay.
I really hope it never snows here because that would be a disaster.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, it would be if I could stay home.
Right,
Well,
right.
no,
if you don't have to go in traffic.
Yeah,
true.
exactly that. Exactly that. Yeah, if I have to drive and it's snowing here, what?
No. People can't even drive in rain.
No, they cannot. All right, that last category. Why did I ask you about the favorite pieces that you've written?
Because I also write creatively. I do some creative writing. I'm working like probably millions of people on a novel, but I do like little poetry and other things.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, just that project you mentioned, you said is 100 words in 100 days.
Right.
So each day you're writing 100 words and that folds into that piece.
Right.
Okay. What day are you on right now?
I have to say, because I started January 1st.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I finished the third. I decided after the first 100, I want to keep going. So I have 3 times 100 by now. And now I'm at the bonus 65 days. And now it's 65 words for 65 days until December 31st.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that's a very reasonable amount to write.
That's what I thought.
Words,
yeah.
100 words. That's very doable.
That's what I thought. I was sort of overwhelmed when the year started because so many things, and I didn't even know about the fires, but I thought, okay. Right. But I also wanted to witness what's going on. And so I thought, okay, 100 words, I think I can do 100 words a day.
Absolutely.
And it turns out to be if I go back and think, oh yeah, that happened and that happened, but then it's not just like a diary. It's like different, sometimes poetic things.
Absolutely, yeah. But it's free form, right? You have 100 words to do with as you please.
Right.
Yeah. I once tried to do the artist way for a little while. You know, I'd get up, I'd start those morning pages, and I had such trouble having to write that much because, gosh, I can't remember. This was a couple of years ago. But it was several pages I think you had to write each day. And I was like, I don't have the time to do this every day. Right. I'm already getting up early and then I got to do this. And I couldn't stick with it. But
maybe 100 words.
I think that'd be, it's a good way to start. And then maybe you can build that habit over time, which would be better for me. Because I know I could really benefit from just every day sitting down with a piece of paper, writing things out. I know it's good for me. It helps you process your thoughts or your emotions, however you want to process them.
Yeah.
So I'm going to keep that in mind. So thank you for that. Yeah. Because I like, just a little bit of that every day.
Yeah.
It'd be really good for
I think
a person.
It is.
Yeah. All right. So we got to talk about the reason we're here.
Okay.
So Kerstin, I want you to tell me, going back, first time in your life when you heard about, saw, maybe someone told you about improv.
I think it was really, really that consciously it was watching Whose Line Is It Anyway? So in Germany, I don't know, maybe I didn't, but I thought, wow, this is weird and what they're doing and they're coming really up with that stuff on the spot. And I just laughed so much and I was so impressed and I was also sure that I could never do that. But I think that was my introduction to improv.
Yeah. You saw the show. That's pretty cool. Not for me, but I'll enjoy them performing.
Right.
Okay. Interesting. I feel like, Whose Line was such an incredible introduction for so many people because to me, I feel like that was the first time, it was national media, right? You could watch it on TV. It wasn't, you had to go to a theater in Chicago or, one of these other cities. Anyone could sit down and watch it, and it was very approachable. It made sense. The games are made up, the points don't matter, all this sort of thing. Right. So it was a really great introduction, I think, for so much of the world, really, through Whose Line. Now, I want to ask, growing up, and especially leading into your career, were you ever, I assume you were involved in the arts in some capacity. I don't know if you were performing growing up, either in music or dance or theater or mostly writing.
I was mostly writing. And I think as a teenager, I wanted to become a writer, a creative writer, but I think I was a little scared. And also, even though my parents were supportive, but they were also like, you have to make money somehow. And even so, which doesn't make sense if you want to make money, but I studied history of theater.
Theater history. I love that.
History. So that doesn't really make sense in making money. But at that time, I had my favorite radio station that I always listened to in Deutschland, in Germany. And it was SWF 3. And that was like a pop music with some storytelling and all that in between. And I thought, I would love to work for radio. Yeah. This sounds awesome. But I wanted to be a music DJ. I thought, I want to have a show where people call in and then they ask for some songs and I chat with them, and that would be awesome. And I think that was something where I would have liked to be a writer, but that was like an alternative that sounded pretty exciting. And then I got an internship in Berlin at a radio station just after the wall came down.
Wow.
And they sent out anybody who could hold a microphone and a recorder and said, okay, you go out, you do whatever. And I was suddenly former spies, people that had been spied on things. And I was just like, that is a job. I can do that and get paid for it. And so that's how I then got into the journalism for real, and that's how that happened.
Yeah. Wow. So you did end up joining a radio station. Yeah.
I did. Yeah. Yes. First it was like small radio stations in Munich where I went to university. It was like private ones, and I don't know how they let me on the microphone and it was still everything was it was not digital, it was all
it was all analog
and different, and LPs to cue in and all that, and but it was fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, like you said, what an interesting time to get into that field. Just the opportunities for the interviews that you had. And like you said, anyone, hey, come in the door. We got a microphone and a recorder for you. Get out there. Please talk to someone. I mean, it was a huge historical event, happening, and just such a huge change for the country.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's really exciting. So I want to talk about that a little more, because you are a journalist, right? Which I feel there's a little bit of an improv element to that career, and maybe you didn't even realize that, because at the end of the day, your goal is to go out and interview people and have a conversation with them, to have a back and forth, to ask them questions, right? Like we're doing right now. But it's establishing that conversation in the back and forth, making someone feel comfortable. That takes such an element of skill. That's your career. So clearly, I think you're excellent at it.
What I find in improv is the listening part and the being present. That I know from my practice as a journalist. That is something that sometimes it comes in not so handy, because I'm trained to listen and to wait and to not, so like when we do the clap-ins or something, or when you're supposed to do something or give a gift to somebody, I am very hesitant. It's really, my muscles are totally different. I'm like, I wait till this person has finished whatever they want to say. I wait to see what they want to come up with, and I'm listening. And when because I'm doing radio interviews, I don't want to have my or anything, so I'm really waiting until they finish their sentence, and then I ask a question, but I'm not active. So it's sort of different muscles that I have to work with improv, but the listening part and the being present is similar.
Absolutely, because it's such an important skill, especially in an interview. You want your guests to finish whatever they're saying. You don't want to cut them off, because they might just drop a beautiful little nugget right there that you want to hear. And especially, but clap-ins are such a almost jumping on top. It's always that last 10 minutes of class where everyone's sort of attacking the stage. So it is.
And I'm
the antithesis of a good interview.
At the end, I'm standing at the wall. I'm the one and then I'm also like, I want to be smart. I want to be funny. I want to be, and by the time somebody else is already smart and funny, and my idea is like long gone. And so that is one of my hardest parts in improv too. And I also realize when we say, okay, you two go up and whatever, it's the theme is Moulin Rouge or whatever. Yeah. And that I'm usually I'm looking at my partner. What do they come up with? And then I react to it.
Yeah.
And I'm not the person who will, I have to force myself to say, okay, this time I'm just whatever is like what we then call gray space or something, what comes up, I'll just do it. Or I'm just going to come in with a limb and see how, or do something funny. But that's an intention. I mean, that I have to work on that still.
It's one of the things that just takes practice. Like,
Right.
you know, it's just reps and reps and over and over again. You know, I think you could do 1,000 improv scenes and still that's something you have to think about every time. You're like, man, I gotta make sure that I'm, you know, yes-anding and bringing my own things into the scene that I can build with my scene partner. Yeah. You know, I'm sure Matt, you know, he's a fantastic improviser. He's done so much improv, but I'm sure there's still things that he's thinking about every time he goes into a scene that he wants to make sure he does. I know I've done a lot of improv, not as much as him, but I know that's true for me too.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I see that in everybody how they have their certain things, and I admire some who are so physical, or something where I also have to sort of train myself to say, okay, work with your body and not just stand around or not just, So there's a few things that.
But that's the fun of it, right? There's always the next thing to work on, and you can always keep improving in this craft. That's why I enjoy it, because every scene is an opportunity to work on whatever it is you want to work on.
Right.
Which is
and I must say that like from the beginning when I thought, oh, this sounds like a place that is welcoming, and I think that's why I come back. Not only is it, I totally also enjoy being in a room with people, like really, like not virtual or anything, but nice people, and people where I feel like, okay, I wouldn't even think I screw up, but if I feel like, oh man, that was really, but I feel like, okay, everybody is accepting and laughing, or just knows, okay, we all do this thing or that thing, and it's something where when I think, okay, I should try out that. And okay, let's try that out. And if it doesn't work, I don't feel bad, because I think, oh, they will think I'm stupid. They will think I'm dumb, because it's a really, really nice community that you guys created here, I think.
Yeah, well, and you're part of that now. So you're part of creating that. Yeah, I will say, improv over Zoom it's really not fun. I've tried it. I had an improv audition over Zoom, and it just felt so weird.
That sounds weird.
Yeah.
How did they do that?
They just be like, okay, you two are going to do a scene together. And then they kind of tried to give us like rules for the space, because we were sharing the space, right? Sharing the stage. And it was like, don't go over here in, whatever room you're in, because that'll mess things up. And I think my scene partner and I were in a kitchen. It was,
it sounds terrible.
Yeah. And I was like, I don't know how you're supposed to gauge what type of improviser I am from this, but this is what you want. It was during the pandemic, of course, so there wasn't really any choice, but I'm glad to be here.
Right.
Glad to be here.
Do you know, were you here when, how did IFTP do during COVID?
Well, that's actually how I found IFTP, is that there was, for a time they were virtual, like everyone was, because just for, certain state and city and county regulations, we weren't allowed to have any sort of meetings. But at some point, gosh, it was in 2021. Yeah, 2021, that summer, I was desperate. I was like, I need to do improv somewhere. I'm going crazy. I'm sick of Zoom. And I found IFTP online and found out they were doing classes. You had to wear a mask. I had to show proof of vaccination. That all worked for me. So I reached out to Matt. I was like, hey, can I come shadow a class? Shadowed. I was like, this is great. This is where I want to be. They were the only studio having in-person classes. Nobody else was yet. It was all virtual everywhere else in Los Angeles.
Oh, wow.
So I signed up as fast as I could and started taking classes, and I've been here ever since. Now over 4 years.
Nice. Yeah.
So they were, I think Matt was just trying to do anything he could to get people back in person. He said, if we stick to these requirements, we can make it work. And we did.
Right. Yeah. And he seems really so supportive of creating this community in every which way. Like, I haven't been to camp, but I hear it's fantastic.
It is.
And so everything I feel for him is really, it's just really nice what he creates.
Yeah, absolutely. So thinking about that, I wanna look back on, you kind of teased it a little bit earlier, but when you started here at IFTP, you searched it up online, you already knew about improv, you found this place, good reviews. But what were your first impressions like, let's say during those first few weeks or those first month of classes? Whose class were you in? How did you feel?
So I started with Benjamin.
Okay. Yeah, Saturday mornings.
Saturday mornings,
Yep.
that's still where I'm at. Now I'm with Matt, but I also sometimes, I'm always thinking about, and I did it, that I go back to Ben because he does the beginners. And I like that it's really almost just play. Or a lot of play. It's also instructions and helpful hints on what to do. But with Matt, he goes more into details, or he stops you more and he says, okay, let's try this. Or he doesn't give you a lot of instructions. He just says, okay, you're in the kitchen or wherever, and now start.
Yeah.
While with Ben, and it's really so playful, and it's really, and that was how it began. And I felt immediately, I think in my group, I don't know whether I was the only one that came for the first time or maybe 2 or 3 others, and the others had been there a while, but everybody was just, I felt like, okay, I can fall into this group and it's fun. I'm having fun. That was great. I don't have kids, so I don't have a lot of opportunities to hang out with 25, 30, 35-year-olds, and there were a bunch of them in this class, and I thought, oh, this energy and just this,
Yeah.
I just gonna soak this up, and also like, it was just, it was intimidating to be like right away go, okay, let's see, 4 people up, and then it's like, okay, I guess there's only 4 left. I guess I have to go, and then it was just so much fun. And slightly embarrassing, and sometimes I blush easy, and then I knew, oh God, my head is so red right now, but okay, that's okay, and everything, and then I started to, first I just loved being among people, because that was also, so when was it? Yeah, it was not that long after the pandemic, so it felt like it still a lot of things were, it was weird, socially awkward, and funnily enough, I felt like in the group there's quite a few people who are usually socially awkward, maybe, but with the improv, it's like we all talk and we all do things together, and we get over this real fast and do these games, and I just, I thought, okay, the 1 month is over, should I do that again? I guess I sign up again. And this is over, and now in my Saturday mornings, I guess I sign up again because I just enjoy it that much.
Yeah.
And then came a little bit where I thought, you know what, I really also want to get better. It got a little bit like, okay, I want to learn a little more about this craft. So
I love that. I mean, just thinking back to when you signed up, you mentioned you had turned 60, right? And you were like, I want to try something new. Right. I mean, I think anyone who picks improv as the thing they try is very brave, because, brave, or they're not worried about looking silly, right? Because improv, I think, has a reputation for, it's a bit of a silly thing.
it is.
And, some people go, oh, you do improv? That's embarrassing. Even though I love improv, it's one of my favorite things to do. And I think it's cool. And, it takes a special kind of person to show up to an improv class and actually participate.
Yeah.
Because you feel comfortable getting up in front of a crowd and making mistakes.
Right. I mean, I still don't always feel comfortable, I have to say.
Sure.
I mean, I feel comfortable because it's the group that's there.
Yeah.
But I still sometimes think, oh God, today really, I'm like, my brain is everywhere. But that was also a reason why I wanted to join, because I'm very brainy, very, very much. And also when I heard the first lesson, the yes and. So that's how unfamiliar I was with improv when I got there. So, and I thought, because I'm a, but sort of person. And then there were some other things where I just thought, this really also translates sort of into life. It helps me here, but also the support. If somebody, you're not trying to so somebody is funny and somebody, you feel like, they're on a run, they have found something, they have found some gold, and you're not trying to, I'm going to be even funnier, but you're like, okay, how can I
Support
them, and you feel like when I'm on something where, and then I feel, oh, there's all the support from the other people that are there, and that's like, oh, in life, if life would be like that, that would be awesome.
Oh my goodness, yeah,
stuff like that. So once I realized that some of the things really also translated into my other life, I thought, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. That's okay. I mean, since you're bringing it up, what are some of those things that have translated into other parts of your life? The yes and, of course.
Yes and, because, like I said, I'm like, but shouldn't we do it that way? Yeah. And that's also a German thing. When I quit my job to stay here, and I had a very nice job in public German radio. Yeah. And so the Germans are like, oh my God, and what's with your retirement, and what's with health insurance? Yeah. And here everybody's like, oh, right now I'm thinking, oh, well, what is with my retirement?
Yeah.
Okay, but this is also with yes and you, okay, let's do it. And also when we are in class, and Matt, when somebody says, oh, we should book a flight to the Bahamas. And Matt said, we have the flight. We're in the Bahamas.
Yep.
And that sometimes translates into my life sometimes when I'm thinking, oh, I should call that friend. I said, call that friend. Call that friend, do it. And even in my writing, I find that the 100 words are interesting, because I shorten up some things where I would make more around it, or should and would, or this, and then no, what is the thing? What is the real thing to get right to it?
And I like that.
So that helps me. Then I think there's so many things. Commitment. Once you, when I commit, when I have I'm the tennis playing Santa Claus or whatever, whatever I'm at, and then commit to it, even though when I'm thinking, what were you thinking? Coming in and this, but then okay, that's it. We commit to that, and that also in life, when I think, okay, if you are in something, be in it, and not like second guessing and should I do that? Should I not do that? Because that creates, which I find really interesting with improv, it not only creates sort of confusion within me, where, oh man, the Santa Claus, I should have really been, no, but also for the others. Who is she now? So she came in as the Santa Claus, and now she wants to be a princess or what, and now she's not playing tennis anymore, but she'd rather play golf or something. And so I find that these are some things that I learned that translate.
Because that strong commitment, it helps your scene partners, right? They know who you are and what you're trying to be, and they can add to that. I mean, same thing in life too. A strong committal to things is going to help you be successful.
Right.
Yeah. I want to go back to something you said. You mentioned how improv, you feel, has helped you with your writing, right? You get straight to the thing. You know, Matt, there's a couple of Matt phrases in my head. He's like, don't get plotty-planny. And, today is the day. Those are two things that he says that I know. Oh, I hear those in my head. I hear his voice. Yeah. But one thing I like to describe improv is just, it's writing on your feet. That's all improv is. When I teach the sketch class, that's a big part of our philosophy, is that we start everything as improvisation before we start writing it as a script on the page.
Interesting.
Because improv's writing on your feet. So you bring in an idea, maybe you saw something funny at the grocery store. We just kind of improvise it first. Okay, you saw that funny thing. Let's act it out on stage. Get up there, improvise. Then we turn that into a script. Because I think improv to me is just the starting point for any writing. In my own experience, I've written stand-up. I just start by improvising or talking about things out loud and see if I can find something funny first, or if I'm trying to write a comedy sketch, or, lots of different things I've tried to write. Even with a poem, I just might come up with some silly rhymes, just start saying things, and then I can write them down from there. So I think that's a really good perspective you have on that. And just using improv or thinking of improv to help make your writing more efficient too. I can be very verbose sometimes, and let's just cut it down a little bit. Yeah.
And sometimes I like verbose. I like that, depending. But sometimes I realize that is just making a lot out of nothing, and it's or just being trying to have big words or trying to have some embellishment to, and it really doesn't help the story or the character or anything. And so, yeah.
It's just like, let's just get right to it, right? It's always just get right to it.
Yeah.
Today's the day.
Right.
The thing. I'll give you a little tangent here.
Oh.
I don't know why. I just we're on this topic, and I wonder if you can relate. I'm sure you can. I mean, in your experience as a journalist, I'm sure you've conducted many interviews. Not quite related, but an earlier career that I had, I used to be a middle school teacher, and that was a big thing. Is that I would talk too much, and my coach would say it's economy of words, right? How many words am I using?
Yeah.
And I was doing improv at the same time I was teaching. And it was something that helped me think about like, yeah, I am talking too much. Like the kids don't need to hear all this. They're 12 years old, you know?
Right.
I can really just slim down what I'm saying, get right to the point so they get the knowledge and they can get to work. And I'm not getting in their way. Right. And I imagine as an interviewer too, ironically, I'm talking a lot right now, but
but you didn't. I talked a lot before in some. Yeah,
but you're the guest. You know, you're supposed to talk. That's why you're here. The guest, our audience has heard enough of me. Oh my goodness. But I wonder too, in questions or when preparing for an interview, you have to think about questions that are direct and to the point, and get to the answers that you're seeking. Right.
Well, the answers that I'm seeking, that's interesting. I had a colleague who basically had the story written before he went out to do the interviews, and was basically doing the interview because he knew, okay, I want this person to say this and this person to do that, and then I have my story ready. Well, I
keep it more open.
I hope to keep them more open. So at the moment, I'm doing quite a bit about raids and protests and people. I'm at the moment working on a longer story about faith-related protest, and so I go out to these protests, and then I sit down, hopefully, with some people for some longer time and ask them, why are you doing that, and what is the impact? And also with, I was just meeting a lady whose husband has been detained and is in a detention center, and so now she has to restructure her life. Yeah. And so with that, I come in with a few, so I always prepare to have some questions ready, and I write them down, and so I want to know what exactly happened with this, and how, and what is your situation now. But then I, like in improv, try to listen really good and not just, and I write everything down, but mostly I never look at my questions anymore. It's like, okay, we're here. I mean, you're not looking at any questions. And and then you hopefully get into a flow, or that's what I'm hoping, where I listen and then I hear something that this person says where I think, what? Or did I hear that right? And then I follow up, and then I have some additional questions. And then I come home with way too much material for anything. But I learned something, and sometimes I even get an idea for another story because something was mentioned that I didn't even think about, or my story gets a different angle because I realize, oh, this is really important. I didn't even think about that before I met this person, but this is really maybe the heart of the story that I wasn't even aware of before I met them. So that is, and then I have to adjust. And at the end, then I look at my list and to see, okay, did I ask all the questions that I wanted to ask? And that's how I work.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, okay, I'm going to point it out. I think there's a great analogy to improv right there. Because like you mentioned, and I think I set this up unintentionally, right? Because you go into an interview with a list of questions, and you mentioned your colleague, right, who maybe has a bit of an agenda, right? And the way I frame that definitely set it up that way. But similar to improv, right? Oftentimes, I'm guilty of this. I go into a scene with an agenda, or like, oh, here's what I want to happen because I think this is funny.
Right.
You could do the same thing with an interview, and it might not go that way depending on how questions are answered. And like you said, you have your list, but you might not end up going with that list, and that's okay.
Right.
Maybe the questions are answered, maybe they're not. Maybe you find something even better than you could have thought of asking ahead of time. And think improv is often the same way. See, like I said,
Yes.
you have improv experience
Yes,
as a
I do.
journalist.
That's very true.
Right?
That's
Because
very true.
at the end of the day, your guest, the other person, is kind of helping guide, inform whatever the interview turns into.
Yeah.
And then you walk away with all that material,
Right.
everything they shared with you, and you shape it into something from there. See?
Hopefully I
See?
do them right. Yes.
I have a feeling that you do. Yeah. Yeah. But see, I knew it. I was like, there's something here.
Right.
And we found
Yes.
it. We
yes.
found
yes.
it.
Yes. There
Yeah.
is.
But that is an interesting thing too. Yeah. I imagine I can picture you have a list of questions. You sit down, start talking, and you're like, I don't need this.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
I guess, like you said, I'm doing that right now. I do have a list of questions.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote that probably years ago. It's like a default, like these are questions I
Okay.
generally want to dance around. And then I couldn't even tell you what's on there right now because I know we'll talk about improv and we'll find the rest from there.
Okay. Nice.
And that's how it goes at this point.
Right. And did
Yeah.
did that change for you through improv? That you're more at ease with a situation like that?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I know it's just, listen, respond, and instead of finding the funny, it's find the interesting thing that you want to dig more into. Yeah. It's all there. It's all there. Wow. Sorry, my mind right now is just kind of blown. I'm like, yes, that's the connection. That's the connection. I knew it. Because I was like, look, I know you said you hadn't done improv until recently, but I know
That's true.
you've been doing this.
That's true.
Yeah.
And somehow I had to improvise all the time. Yes. And I had to improvise when I came here. I had to improvise when I came to Berlin. I didn't know anybody. I went to university in Munich.
Yeah.
I didn't know anybody. I came from a town of 10,000 people close to the Black Forest. And so in that way, I guess I had to improvise. Okay, what do I make out of this?
Yeah.
And the people I meet and the opportunities that come along.
It's that fake it till you make it mindset. Yeah. I think we've all had to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
I hope I didn't fake too much.
No.
I don't know.
No. But you made it.
I made
so
it.
it's not fake because once you made it. Yeah.
Right.
So there
That's
you go.
true.
There you go. All right.
All this wisdom.
That's just a lot of podcasts. That's all. All right. I got a couple more questions for you before we do some improv.
All right. Oh my God.
That's the real
Now
test.
I'm scared.
No, it's going to be fun.
Okay.
We just kind of play like one fun kind of silly game.
Okay.
Nothing serious. It's just 45 minute. No. Long form improv. And you're by yourself.
Oh my
No.
God. I have to clap in myself all the
Yes,
time.
yes. It's just a solo clapping.
solo clapping. That would be something.
That'd be very mean if I did that.
But that would be, yeah.
No, but just thinking about, so improv was that thing you sat down, you decided you want to try.
Yeah.
You've been doing this, you mentioned, for a little over a year now, which I think is a good amount of time to be doing improv. In that time, I'm sure you've grown, you've learned a lot. You've tried 2 different classes now, you met other people. Thinking about that, maybe within comedy or in other creative fields, because I know you're a writer, you do poetry, you've written a novel, right? You're working on another. Are there any other sort of creative things or pursuits that you're interested in or thinking about right now? You've done improv. That was a whole new chapter.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I signed up for the stand-up class,
Ah.
which... I mean, that's the thing with get out of your comfort zone, what they tell you. Mm-hmm. And so, which is interesting. Some people think, okay, you're in radio. Sometimes some of your stories, millions might hear that. So, yeah, but I'm radio. I'm not in front of people, really. I do my story in my little room, and sometimes I'm in a studio for producing. There's an engineer. There might be an editor. But in front of an audience and being funny and writing funny things, so that is my newest adventure in using my creativity, and it is pretty terrifying.
Did it already start, that class?
It started. We had our second class on Sunday.
Ooh.
Yes. And it was... very interesting, because I thought I had an idea what I wanted to do. You mentioned I'm a dual citizen. I just became a U.S. citizen, and some things about that is, thank you very much. Some say condolences.
Fair. Fair.
So I thought there's some funny things about that.
Absolutely.
And then I thought, it's I'm sort of gonna wing it. I did some when I walked the dog. I was talking it out loud, which already I thought, oh, that sounds, you're rambling. But okay, you can tighten it up. But I thought, okay, I'm going to have just a few index cards with some. That's how I sometimes also, when I have live, if I'm interviewed, if a radio station calls me and asks me about how did the election go or something. And then I have a few index cards. I don't have written answers. And then I go by that. And I thought, that's what I'm going to do with stand-up. I'm just going to have a few keywords. I was rambling so bad. And it was just, I couldn't get to the point. And so I have to tighten my stuff up significantly. So that's going to be interesting. And then being in front of people. And I know 2 friends already signed up for tickets. And I'm very happy on the one hand because I think, okay, there's going to be familiar faces. But on the other hand, it's like, oh, my God, they're going to see me.
Yeah.
So that should be interesting.
Yeah. I think I'm going to say this. And I think you're experiencing this right now. I think stand-up is harder than improv because you're by yourself.
Yes.
And like you said, it's just you and your words and your jokes.
Yeah,
that's it.
Thank you for reminding me.
Yep.
It's terrible.
But you're already doing it. You've already done 2 classes.
Yeah, it's 2 classes and it's 2 more, and then
a show.
And then it's be 7 minutes, and then it will be over.
7.
And then,
right. That's a good amount. I think I've done 5.
Yeah, we were supposed to do 5 for the but like I said, I was rambling and. Yeah, so it's really different. And nobody is there to support you other than friendly faces looking at you, but nothing when you know, like an improv, okay, I'm running out of somebody will come in and do something and save you. Nope. No, so that's
part of it.
Yeah. That's what Other than that, I don't think at the moment that I have really. I'd really like to finish that damn novel.
Yeah.
I'd really like to be over with. And but that's it.
In time.
Everything in time. I feel like it's past its expiration date. When I started it, and now I'm like, my relationship to that novel is like a little stale. That's like a stale relationship. Like, okay.
You got to go out to dinner with the novel, you know? Right. New restaurant. Shake it up and shake up the routine. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
One thing I'll say about stand-up, you mentioned being on your own. So you are on your own, but once you get in front of an audience, this is what I tell myself.
Okay.
The audience, they pay to be there.
Oh God, that's awful.
No. But it's a good thing because anytime an audience pays to go to a show, they want the show to be good.
Okay.
They're rooting for you.
Okay.
Because they say, hey, I'm here, I'm spending my time, I'm spending my money, I'm going to a show, I want to have a good time. And I want these performers to do well, and I believe that they're going to be funny.
Okay.
And I think the general audience member, that's what they're thinking going into a show.
Okay. Maybe here, I think there's people who just want other people to fail and look stupid.
There are.
But they are not coming here.
No.
They're not the ones that are coming here.
No, I don't think so.
No. And I'm going to be very funny.
You will be. Yeah. I know you will be.
I will be very funny.
You will.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you're already thinking about it. You're working through it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be all right.
Yeah. You're spending time on it. You're not just going, I'm blowing this off. I'm doing a little stand-up. I'll wing it once I get there.
Yeah, that's what I did think, sort of. But no.
Yeah. It's a very humbling art form. I've performed stand-up a few times. I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. But I've done it, and that's the thing. You have to answer the question, what is this like?
Right. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, I'm always thinking, maybe I would like to do that. And then, okay, let's do it and find out.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you'll have answered the question. Maybe you'll love it. And you'll be like, this is, this is what I'm going to be doing.
Right. Yeah. That's my after retirement plan.
Yeah. Stand-up comedian.
Hit
the road. Get an HBO special.
Right.
There you go.
Cool.
Yeah. Something to think about.
Not yet.
Not yet. Let's get through this first one. All right. My last question for you, Kerstin, is, so you've been doing improv a little over a year. Matthew Moore, Benjamin Roth, right? These are teachers that you've had.
Ava. I also had Ava when she did some,
Oh,
one
she
of the
subbed
other.
and things
she
like that.
subbed, and
Yeah.
that was awesome.
She's also a ton of fun.
Awesome. I mean, yeah. And I did a character
She does
class with
some
her.
workshops.
Yeah. So she's great. I love her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you say, or let's say you had a friend,
Okay.
they know you do improv. They've never tried it themselves.
Right.
What would you say to them to convince them to come here, take a class?
I mean, yes. I mean, this is just the most funnest thing you can do. You're with people that are fun, that are courageous, that are supportive, that are curious, that don't look at their phone for 2.5 hours. And you can try something and get out of your head and just, learn something, be happy, be around great people. I would say that. I said that to a few people, but then they I would never do that.
I think that's a good pitch. I mean, really not looking at your phones for 2.5 hours. It's really good,
Right?
to have something like that.
Right? Yeah.
Just take a break. There's a lot of stuff on there that's not good for us.
Right. No. Yeah, I always come out. Sometimes I think it's Saturdays, 10 in the morning, and I think, you know what, I could just have a lazy breakfast and And I always come out like I have more energy afterwards than I had before. I'm ready to whatever comes my way to do it. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Laugh, get off your phone, meet some people, have fun, challenge yourself.
Right. Yes.
These are all things that make life worth living.
Right. Totally.
Yeah, it's the right place to be. I'm in. I'm signing up.
Yay!
If that's
Sign
your
up.
pitch to me,
Yes,
I'm
sign
there.
up.
There. All right. You ready to do some improv?
Sure. Of course. Yes.
Okay, so if you could just do your stand-up set and then... Oh, that'd be mean. That'd be mean.
That would be so mean. Okay, I'm a citizen.
No. So we're going to play a little game. This might be one you've played before. If not, we'll go over the rules.
Okay.
But it's a good structure. It's called Correspondence.
I do not know that
You
game.
do not know Correspondence. It's a Matthew Moore favorite, so I'm surprised.
Oh, so maybe I just don't know the name. Maybe I didn't pay attention when he said this is correspondence.
So how Correspondence works, basically, would you like to be a patron or the business owner? I'll give you the choice.
I am... So my initial thing would be I'm the patron. Because then I think the owner would start and I can react. But probably whatever I choose, I probably am the first. I don't know. See, I'm in my head.
Yeah.
This is how I am. This is why I need to do improv. Okay, what was your question?
Okay, so you're going to be the patron.
I'm going to be the patron.
And you are going to start, unfortunately. But so how this game works, because you said that, I was like, well, the patron always starts in this game. But there's a nice structure to it.
Okay.
So how Correspondence works is that you're a patron, I'm a business owner, and you are writing either a letter, an email, some sort of communication to me about a complaint you have about my business. And we'll define what that business is.
Okay.
And it's correspondence. So it's us going back and forth. So
right.
you'll write me a letter,
yeah.
I'll listen to it, and I'll respond. And basically, we're going to send a few of these back and forth. They'll get shorter and shorter. And at some point, I'll black out the scene because we'll have a nice, funny moment. So it could be, dear Mr. Whatever, the last time I came to your restaurant, the soup was cold and tasted bad.
Okay.
Whatever that is
All
for
right.
you. I'll define the business to help get us started.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's see. I own let's think about it like this. I own a pottery store.
A pottery store.
Pottery store. Yeah.
Okay.
So this game is called Correspondence. You'll be the patron of my pottery store. And I'll black us out when we're done. Okay.
All right.
Lights up.
Dear Mr. Pitterpot, I was at your pottery last Saturday and I bought that terribly expensive orange vase that you convinced me to buy. And it's already broke. What's wrong with you? Your ex-customer, Brigitte.
Brigitte, that orange vase was one of a kind. I can't believe you were so careless with my finest piece. I sold that to you, thinking you would take utmost care of that beautiful orange vase/pot. Please, rebuild it. I will mail you some hot glue so you can rebuild that vase, for it is my finest piece. Signed, Mr. Pitter Potter.
Mr. Pitter Potter. That is an awful suggestion. This is glue. I am allergic to glue.
Oh.
Your vase will stay in pieces. But I sort of like that you send me that glue and want to repair things. Brigitte.
Brigitte, I appreciate your open mindset towards rebuilding the vase. However, I apologize for being careless in not considering your glue allergies. Is there another adhesive we could use to rebuild the vase? Also, I'm sorry for my tone earlier. I understand that accidents happen, and my products are known for breaking as they are very fragile. Perhaps you could come down to the store sometime and select another item free of charge. Signed, Mr. Pitter Potter.
Mr. Pitter Potter. Can I call you Pete? I really enjoyed your letter. I would love to come down to your shop and see about the other adhesive. Maybe it's not only good for vases.
Pete Pitter Potter is a great name.
God,
Thank you for that.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Yep. I love alliteration. So just you set me up for that, and it was. And then you gave me the name Pete, which was perfect.
Right. Yeah,
now
nice.
You've played Correspondence.
Now I play Correspondence.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not that bad.
No, it's a very fun game.
Yeah. And I thought, handwriting, computer writing, but I felt like handwriting.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah. That's what I like. I always like to see the choice people make for how they're sending this communication.
And you responded with handwriting too.
I wanted to match the customer.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. And that's a choice there too, right? I could have chosen to type my response. Right. Maybe I cared less than you did. You were putting a lot of effort. I could have just, whatever.
Right. No, you sent a really expressive letter back.
Yeah. That's the fun of the game.
Right.
That's the fun of the game. All right. Kerstin.
Yes.
Before we conclude tonight's episode.
Okay.
Are there any last words you want to leave us with on life, on improv, on the highs and lows of being a citizen of the United States?
My God.
Anything at all.
Anything, any wisdom. I think we said it all. I want to say that improv reaffirmed my deepest belief that time is not necessarily money, but time is life. And with that, I'll leave you.
Wow. Those beautiful words.
Right?
Beautiful words. Let's just leave it with that. Thank you so much for listening to Improv for the Podcast. As always, we'll be back next time with another episode. But until then. Improv for for the podcast was created by Matt Moore and Michael Lee Evans. Edited and produced by Michael Lee Evans. And finally, presented by Improv for the People. Interested in more IFTP? You can visit us at improvforthepeople.com or on our socials, such as Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. Remember, new episodes are released weekly. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next time.